We left Ho Chi Minh City this morning, and after an 8-hour bus journey across to Cambodia, we have now arrived at Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia. And we are now on a cyclo tour around the major sites in the area. So this here is the central market, which was built by the French in the 1930s. But yeah, we're just having a nice tour around. This is all part of our trip, and we're doing it with everyone else in the group. And here we are continuing on our tour, and we've got to a golden stupa, although I think we may be lost because the bloke behind me stopped, or we're waiting for some other people, or we're on the wrong side of the road, which also seems to be what's happening. And here we are in the French Quarter, which you will hopefully be able to see does indeed look fairly French. And this is the old post office, which was built by the French and is one of the more impressive buildings from that period. And if I spin you around, you can see Juliet. And we are carrying on this trip to one of the main temples in the town. So we have stopped our cyclo tour temporarily to have a look at this monument, which is to a lady called Penh, who in the 1400s during a flood found some statues in a log on the river, and she took these Buddha statues into her home and created a temple. And then following that, the then king of Cambodia came down the river, and he saw the statues and saw the nice village they were living in, and he decided to put his capital on the same location, and he requested the villagers turn their temple for these Buddha statues into a hill with a proper temple on top of it. And in Cambodian, a hill is called Phnom. So the capital city was then called Phnom Penh, after the hill and the lady who found the statues in the piece of wood. Very nice story. And tomorrow we will go up to the temple itself, but I think a little bit later on we'll get a chance to have a view of it from the ground. And here, as promised, is the temple I was talking about, with a large statue of a pig in the foreground. Very nice statue, and this is where you can come in a couple of days' time for New Year, and it will be the main party centre of the city. And we have just cycled up a very long road, and we're now at the Independence Monument here in the city centre. This is one of the main areas of the city, and behind the monument it goes on a long way, and there's quite a lot of parks and water features. But this monument is to celebrate the independence of Cambodia from the French. We are now cycling along the last bit of this trip, but we are on the riverside now and having a very nice cycle along it. Next stop is going to be a restaurant for dinner, and then we're going to have a walk around along the riverfront itself. Looks like a really nice riverfront, and there's a few boats out there, and it looks very, very pretty. So we've now left the cyclos, and we're just having a look at the river from this nice restaurant here. But the thing I wanted to show is all of the lizards and geckos around us. They are absolutely everywhere, and they're big old things. And I very much like lizards, so I like being here. We have now had our dinner, and we are taking a tuk-tuk similar to those in Thailand back to our hotel. It's as death-defying as it was there, but the roads aren't quite as busy as Vietnam, so it's not quite as bad. But you get to see all the things on the side. And I think we're going through a market at the moment, and it's all very interesting. We left Phnom Pehn this morning and drove about an hour from the city to go to the killing fields, which were used by the Khmer Rouge in the 1970s to kill many people. I'm not going to go into the details of it here, but it's a very interesting place to visit, very sad, very poignant, and I'd recommend coming here to understand more about the terrible things which happened to this country 40 years ago. And here we have the Royal Palace here in Phnom Pehn, and it's undergoing a lot of building work at the moment, so we're not going in to have too much of a look around. But from what we can see, it's lots of golden spires and it looks very pretty. But we are now going to walk down the riverside here, where we took our cyclos yesterday, and we're going to walk to the temple of the city, which we discussed yesterday as well, and we're going to have a look up there in the daytime. Here we are again at Wat Phnom, where we were yesterday evening. It's obviously daytime today, we're getting a bit of a better view of the temple itself. If you come here, it's about $1 to get in if you're a foreigner. It's free if you're a local. But there's a nice park to walk around, and it makes a bit of a respite from the heat with all the shade around.